There's an immense urgency of mass deportation of every Indians, Palestinians, Israelis, Africans, Asians, Punjabis, Pakistanis, Arabs, Persians, Iranians, Turkish, Armenians, Jamaicans, and all the people from third world countries back to where they came from. Instead of telling you all the ethnicities of the people that need to be deported from first world countries, I'm going to tell you the only ones that can be allowed to stay: English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, German, French, French Canadian, Dutch, Scandinavian, Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish. All the rest, gone. The only ethnicity from Eastern Europe who will be allowed to stay will be the Ukrainians refugees because of the war that happened. To prevent a civil war, or worse, a third world war because of Muslims who many consider to be the Nazis of the 21st century, I propose you these solutions. For the first solution, if it's still possible to do it, please do it. There's an immense urgency for every first world country citizens in the world to rise up and take back their homelands. Right now, your countries are being destroyed from within because of all the illegal and dangerous immigrants from third world countries. So, to fix this, you will have to face fear with fear. All the immigrants that entered first world countries in the last 15 years will be deported. They are too close to the recent problems that were created by other immigrants, so you don't take chances. Instead of locking every shop items in sealed plastic cases so people can steal them, you will hire armed soldiers from the ethnicity I said would be allowed to stay in your countries to protect the place. All owners of private businesses who are part of the ethnicity that I said would be allowed to stay in your countries will be allowed to get a permit to carry a weapon. You will not give any weapons to any other ethnicities in your countries. If you want to ban the use of weapons in your countries, you will ban it for them. If they are seen with any weapons in their possession, even in their homes, you arrest them and you deport them the same day. You will remove all ethnicities who are not part of the ones who I said would be allowed to stay in your countries from the army and the police. You will send the army to patrol the streets of your cities with the police, who will be forced to help if need be. Any person who exhibit any kind of vandalism, physical assault on citizens, and any thieves spotted in the action will be deported. Your prisons are already full, and it's costing way too much money to your countries to keep them all inside. You will bring back the death penalty, and you will execute all the people who were found guilty of murder. All women police officers will be prevented to patrol the streets under penalty of being fired or sentenced to house arrest. This is for their own good. If they want to help, they will work inside police buildings with files. All the women and all the immigrants who do not belong in the ethnicities I mentioned earlier, who I said would be allowed to stay in your countries, will be removed from all positions of power, decisions, and control over your country. Their judgment cannot be trusted. Start with those suggestions, and maybe it will be enough to calm everything down. Maybe you will scare people enough to calm them down, and maybe, in the people you deported, the dangerous sleeper cells in your countries will have left. If this first solution doesn't work, if even after all of this they're still stubborn and keep making trouble, then here's my second solution. Every immigrants who are part of the ethnicities I mentioned earlier that need to be deported, legal citizens or not, even if they've been in your countries for 3 generations and their children have children as well, it no longer matters. They will be forced to leave, and they can thank their own people for that. You will gather the army that was put in place in the first solution, and you will empty the houses, apartments, and every other buildings where they live. You will clean the streets, and you will send them all back. Even if they are politicians, CEOs, doctors, scientists, teachers, police officers, researchers, or whatever, I don't care. You deport them. You will put them in trucks, you will drive them to your airports or the borders of their countries, and you send them away. After that's done, you will do the same as Poland does and harm your border patrols. You will also put mounted weapons on the top of your borders walls. It's not a joke anymore. Your governments and all the people who are responsible for this mess have waited too long and ignored the warnings and screams of the citizens. So sadly, you will have to deal with the consequences of their inactions. You will inquire to find the people who were responsible for this mess, and you will put them all on house arrest with electronic monitoring devices, and they will be fired from their positions of controls over your countries. They will be banned from ever having the possibility of holding any jobs that holds power over your countries ever again. Their offices and their homes will be raided to take any files they have, and their computers, their phones, and all their USB drives will be confiscated and given to the police. Because of them, your countries are infested with rapists, murderers, criminals, schizophrenics, religious fanatics, thieves, mental patients, disease carriers, and all of them are in no hurry to change or adapt to your country's ways of living. They scream loud and clear that they want to kill you all and replace you. They infiltrate your politics, schools, hospitals, drive your trucks of food and water, and pollute your streets, lakes, and rivers. They have no respect, no hygiene, no common sense. They rape women and children, shit in the streets, burn and bomb buildings. They hide behind the hypocrisy of religious fanaticism based on fantasies that gives fuel to their murderous fury. They use your laws to their advantage against you, when to begin with, they never respected them and came in illegally. They want the death of everyone who do not share their beliefs. They have infiltrated your police and your army. You give religious fanatics weapons, for fuck's sake. What the fuck is wrong with you? So no, your cowardice disguised as tolerance that you use to preach the illusion of safety in the minds of your people is unacceptable. It's criminal. You're leaving your people defenseless against terrorists. Because you have allowed multiculturalism, immigrants are legally allowed to ask for their religions to be applied in your countries. If you do not want that, you will have to say no to multiculturalism. With people whose critical thinking is lacking because they are brainwashed by their religion who dictate their behaviors, hoping to see reason emerging from them is impossible. What they're thinking is how can you prevent them to practice their religion if you allow your own to exist? So, if you want to stop that, you will need to ban every religion in your countries. Do this, put in place what I'm telling you, or else your people will revolt and it's going to get worse, way worse. If you think I'm cruel with my solutions, if you do nothing, I promise you, you will curse yourselves for not doing it sooner. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. It's not just the immigrants who are problematic right now. You have dangerous psychopaths, sociopaths, and criminals in your society who are eagerly waiting for everything to explode so that they can act on their sadistic and cruel desires. They couldn't ask for anything better than what is happening right now, and you can already see it in all the videos they make and posts they write. They gather enraged and furious people to their cause, and it's very easy for them to control and manipulate them, because right now, a lot of them are equally exhausted and pissed off from what is happening. The so-called civilized people of your countries will reveal their true nature, and it won't be pretty. It will be violent, they will destroy everyone, and I don't want that to happen. You can't push people forever. If you keep ignoring the screams of your citizens again, they will take justice in their own hands, and it's going to be a huge civil war with countless unnecessary deaths and victims of many things worse than death that will scar them and the people around them for life. Anyone who will try to stop the solutions I gave you will be deported with the immigrants. They want to defend them, they will go with them. They will be able to enjoy their culture of being killed, lapidated, raped, burned alive, cut open, decapitated, and more. You have to act now. Not soon, not in a few weeks, now. I'm giving you solutions here. There's an immense augmentation of aggressive nationalism, and it will soon explode. So this is your last chance to prevent millions of deaths. Once you've put all of this in place and everything is done, you repair your countries. You take the time you need to heal your countries, you take care of your people, you listen to them, and you help them with their lives. After that, after a minimum of 25 years have passed and everything is better, people who will want to come back will be able to do so under strict conditions. And I am going to give them to you. Because it's clear that most of you politicians out there have absolutely no judgment whatsoever. So here goes. Anyone from first world countries, and who is not from the race or the ethnicities of the people who were deported, will be tolerated to come in. For the Indians, Africans, Asians, Punjabis, Pakistanis, Arabs, Persians, Iranians, Turkish, Armenians, Jamaicans, and all the other third world country people who would want to enter, all your religious belongings will not be permitted to enter. You will leave them with your families in your own countries, or it will be thrown in the trash when you arrive. There will be no religious buildings built for your religion. All religious buildings, churches, mosques, synagogues, and temples will be bulldozed to the ground. No religious symbols of any kind will be accepted in public places. That means shops, schools, universities, hospitals, restaurants, airports, police stations, fire stations, every workplaces and offices buildings, malls, drugstore, and convenience stores. Nowhere. If you own a private business, like a local coffee shop or a small butcher shop, if you want to put religious symbols inside, it will be allowed, but not outside. Your wives and daughters will not be allowed to wear any religious clothing. They will be identifiable at all times. They will dress like everyone else. All religious clothing and items will be banned in public spaces. Hijab, niqab, burqa, whatever else. All the headwears, like the turban and the kippah, and all the weapons like the kirpan for Sikh, will be banned. Your wives and daughters will be able to have an abortion if they want, or take birth control pills. And fuck you with your religious beliefs. All the males will be castrated on arrival, young and old. They will be allowed to live here, but they will not be allowed to reproduce here. They will not be allowed to marry or enter into any kind of spouse or partner relationships with any members of their family. If you do not want that, you stay in your countries. Every time you will go on a trip to visit your families in your native countries, you will have to go through a mandatory checkup that will scan you for sexual diseases or if you are pregnant before leaving and after coming back. If you got pregnant in another country to counter the laws of no reproduction from your people in our countries, you will be sent back to where you just came from, and you and your entire family will be permanently banned from ever coming back. We will send the police to arrest your family if they are still in our countries, and we will send them away with you. If you got sexual diseases, you will be quarantined until your disease is fully cured before you are permitted to re-enter the country. If you got an incurable disease, then you will be permanently banned from ever coming back in the country. But your family will not pay the price for this one. You will not be allowed to have any positions of power in the country anymore, like politicians, lawyers, teachers, doctors, police officers, bosses or CEOs of any public companies, and you will not be allowed in the army. You will not be able to vote, you will not be able to surpass 10% of the country natives, and you will not be allowed to practice your religion in any public spaces. You will only be allowed to practice your religion in your homes. Buy carpets if you want, and that's it. If you try again to force your religion on other people, try to do it in the public, and if you ask again for religious buildings to be built, you and all your family will be deported and permanently banned from ever coming back. You will not be considered migrants anymore. You will be considered as temporary visitors or permanent visitors, but you will never be given the titles of citizens of any other country than your own ever again. So there you go. Those are my solutions. Start with this, and then we'll see afterward what we do. Maybe after a few generations we can talk. But in the meantime, if people want to have a country where people can coexist in peace, then they can create one outside of every existing countries on earth where everyone will be welcome there. While this is going, people will keep their native countries uninfected. I much prefer having people being deported than being killed. No countries on earth need immigrants to survive. Your countries need more of your own citizens so that they can relate with each other and help each other flourish so that everyone in their countries can have better lives. To achieve that, you need to give your citizens an incentive to reproduce more. And I will tell you how to do that. I will tell you how to fix your low birth rate. After all of that is done or underway and guaranteed to be completed, we'll talk about the immense hypocrisy that led to this protective necessity and take efficient measures to assure it never happens ever again. And when you will decide you want to bring people inside your countries again, you will do so at a lower rate, and you will move your fucking greedy hypocritical asses to take care of them the right way, instead of letting them rot in your countries until they end up despising you and want to destroy you all. Because of your criminal negligence, because you didn't take care of dangerous people, a lot of innocent from both sides, natives and immigrants, will suffer once again. So to all of you who let this happen, fuck you. Even if some of your governments didn't do anything to them, you clearly didn't help them either. Your citizens don't deserve to suffer the wrath of your victims, but your victims don't deserve to suffer for you to exist.